Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, we go back to March 31st, 1949, 73 years ago, an episode of Abbott and Costello. Who better to remind us that tomorrow's April Fool's Day as we hear another Sam Shovel mystery. So let's jump into this here with Abbott and Costello.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure, with chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Melnick. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud-Abbott and Lou-Costello.
Stop that racket. Look at you.
Huh?
Look at yourself. Bags under your eyes. What happened?
I didn't get a wink of sleep last night.
Why not?
Well, I made a mistake. In the dark, I plugged my electric blanket into the automatic record changer, and all night long it kept flipping me over and playing my other side.
Talk sense. Why don't you get out and get yourself a job?
I'm going, Abbott. I'm going to get a real job. The honest sweat of toil is the greatest reward of a real man. Work is the backbone of the American people. The only thing that matters is earnest toil and the knowledge and the satisfaction of a job well done.
Why, that's wonderful, Costello. Where did you read that?
On the wall of the unemployment office while I was waiting for my check.
I thought there was something fishy. If you lived in Europe, you'd know what work is.
Well, my Uncle Mike came from the old country, you know.
He did?
He read all about America and the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So he came over, and now he has 15 kids.
15 kids?
15 kids. He says they supply the government and he supplies the people.
Listen to me. Another reason you'll never get a job is because you sleep too much. What time did you get up today?
2 o'clock this afternoon.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why don't you get up at 7 o'clock every morning?
Oh, I couldn't do that, Abbott.
How do you know? You never tried it.
I never tried to lay an egg either, but I know darn well I can't do it.
Get him out of here. All right, Costello. Hey, look. Lou, what was all the noise and yelling over at your house last night?
Well, it was my Aunt May's birthday party, and all our relatives were there.
Well, how old is your Aunt May?
Well, I don't know exactly, Abbott, but there were so many candles on the cake, they had a forest ranger standing by.
Did you have fun?
Oh, did I have fun? We played all kinds of games. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, I suggested we play Indians and burn somebody at the stake.
I'll bet that was exciting.
Everybody laughed, but we're sure going to miss Uncle Tom.
Was all your family at the party, Lou?
Well, even my Uncle Jim Kelly. You know, we haven't seen him for years. He's a sailor on the SS Santa Monica.
What's all the S's for?
The boat has a slow leak.
Well, after that party last night, I hope you go home tonight and get some sleep. You look terrible.
Thank you. I really know that. And I don't expect to get any sleep tonight, Abbott.
Why?
You know that Flanagan girl from Patterson?
Yes.
Ha! She has a beautiful friend who just graduated from Vassar, who has the most gorgeous cousin you've ever seen, who has a girlfriend who is out of the world. Her name is Jane.
And you're going out with Jane?
No, I'm going bowling with her father.
Is this girl Jane really pretty, Lou?
She's really pretty, Abbott. She's beautiful.
Do you think you can get any place with her?
Do I think? Listen to this. While the party was on, we sneaked out onto the patio. It was pitch dark.
Yes?
We sat there on a bench, and I kind of shifted over towards her, and she kind of slid over towards me until we were real close together.
Yes.
Then it happened.
What?
She held her arm right close to my ear and let me listen to her wristwatch.
You idiot. You're out with a beautiful girl and you listen to her wristwatch.
That isn't all I did, Abbott. I haven't told you the best part.
Well, now, that's different. What else did you do?
I took her for a ride in a taxi cab.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
How far'd you go with her?
Well, not very far. I only had 35 cents.
Costello, why don't you stop wasting your time chasing girls? Join the Elks or the Eagles. You can have more fun with fellows.
You know, I already belong to a club, Abbott. It's a
Yeah?
wonderful club. It's to keep young fellas like myself from chasing girls.
Now you're talking.
Yes, we even got a sign on our clubhouse door that says positively no women admitted.
Mm-hmm. How often do you meet there?
Ha ha! We don't meet there. We meet on the Santa Monica Pier.
Just how do you explain your great love for women? Lou?
Maybe it's because I was born twin. You know, Abbott, I had a twin sister.
Oh, I didn't know that, Costello.
Oh, sure. Here's a picture of me and my sister when we were 6 months old.
Say, let me see that. You were identical twins.
Sure.
Which one is you?
I'm the one with the Tony.
Tony. Tony? Why, you're both bald-headed.
Abbott, you're holding the picture upside down.
My, you are a cute baby.
Yes, and when I was a baby, I was so pretty that my mother used to rent me out for baby pictures. You know, baby pictures for advertising. They took so many baby pictures of me that up to the time I was 5 years old, whenever I saw a camera, I'd back up to it.
Costello, you really were a tiny baby.
Yeah, when I was born, I only weighed 4 pounds.
4 pounds?
4 pounds.
How did you live?
I sold newspapers.
Oh, will you please? Where were you born?
Yeah, where was I born?
Yes.
On a ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean during a big storm.
Gee, that must have been rough on your mother.
Oh, my mother wasn't there. I was traveling with my aunt at the time.
Mr. Costello, I heard you were looking for a job, and we need a bright-looking young fellow like you to sell our new beauty soap.
Hey, now, that sounds interesting, Costello. Is it good beauty soap?
Good. We guarantee this beauty soap to take an ugly person and make them as lovely as Betty Grable in 14 days.
Does it really work?
Does it work? Look at that tall blonde sitting in the second row.
Hey. Pretty blonde, but she doesn't look like Betty Grable.
Maybe not. But don't forget that 14 days ago, that blonde was a traffic cop at the corner of Hollywood and Vine.
Abbott, you gotta get your relatives off this show.
Oh, Mr. Costello! Mr. Costello! You've gotta help me. You've gotta help me.
What did I tell you? Here's the other one.
Oh, never mind him, Uncle Harry. What's the trouble?
Oh, you've gotta help me. Somebody's gotta help me. Please help me.
All right, so what's wrong?
Oh, night after night I stay awake. I'm always up. Night and day for the past 2 weeks I've been up all night. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm a nervous wreck. Please tell me what to do.
Why don't you go to bed?
Oh, gee, thanks, Lord.
Abbott, I'd like to take your uncle over to the ostrich farm next Sunday.
What for?
I want to show the ostriches how to lay those big ones.
You lay off my Uncle Harry. He doesn't have to be on this show, you know. He owns a store in the valley. He sells deep freezers.
He does?
Yes. You ought to go over and buy one. You want to buy one of those deep freezers off him, Lou?
I've got a deep freezer, Abbott. I've got things that I've had in there for 10 years.
Well, it's about time you took your jokes out of there and put some meat in.
I'd like to know in the script where it says that. Abbott, you better be careful. Stuff like that split up Durante and more.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Viola Vaughn.
Well, boys, what are you...
That's
Excuse
her.
me, that's you.
boys, what are you arguing about tonight?
Well, Abbott keeps bringing his relatives in here every week, and besides that, he's insinuating that I'm a lousy actor.
And you're not?
Certainly not. He should read my fan mail.
Why should I read your fan mail?
Well,
somebody should read it. He can't.
You better talk fast, kid. I'm in on everybody today.
Costello, watch yourself. You know how nervous you get around girls.
You've been having trouble with your nerves, Costello?
You betcha, and how? I've been taking vitamins. I take vitamin B for my nerves, vitamin C for my skin, vitamin D for my bones, and vitamin A so I can see at night.
Why do you have to see at night?
So I can find the bottles of vitamins A, B, and C, and D.
Costello, why don't you take cod liver oil?
Viola, I've taken so much cod liver oil that my mother has to get me out of the bathtub with a net.
Viola, the poor guy's nerves are all shot. Can you do anything to help him?
I sure can, Bud. Come here, Lou.
What are you going to do, Viola?
I'm going to give you a kiss that'll put new life in your nervous system and make you tick like a watch.
A kiss that will make me tick like a watch? I don't think you can do it.
Oh, no? Come here.
Costello, say something.
When you hear the tone, the time will be 7:15 and 1/4.
And that's only half the fun, folks. Just as many laughs yet to come. But first, listen to this.
March 31st, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now more craziness with Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, March 31st, 1949 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Well, Costello, tomorrow's April Fool's Day. I suppose you're getting ready to play jokes on all your friends?
Oh, I started that yesterday, Abbott. Last night I played an April Fool's joke on my brother Pat. I sneaked up behind him, put a giant firecracker in his pocket, tied a Roman candle to his belt, and then I placed a rocket bomb under his chair and lit them all at once.
How did your brother Pat take the joke?
As soon as he comes down, I'll ask him.
I think April Fool jokes are kind of silly, Lou.
Yes, especially the one my Aunt Alma pulled on my Uncle Tom. She put cleaning fluid in his coffee, ant paste on his toast, and then she sprinkled camphor flakes on his cereal.
Did Uncle Tom think it was funny?
He must have. The ambulance driver said he died with a smile on his face.
Did you pull any other jokes on your family, Lou?
Oh, sure. Last night I crossed the wires on our garbage disposal with the wires on a television set. Then I plugged it in.
What happened?
Arthur Godfrey was ground to bits, and we got the only garbage with an 86-point Hooper rating.
Well, that's a higher rating than you've got on your Sam Shovel Detective series, Lou.
That's a lie.
Oh, no.
My Sam Shovel Detective business is growing all the time. I got my operators spying all over the country.
You've got men spying all over the country?
Sure. I got one guy spying in Washington, one in Paris, one in London, one in Patterson, New Jersey. I got one in Hedy Lamar's dressing room.
Oh, wait a minute. Why have you got a guy spying in Hedy Lamar's dressing room for?
Oh, he's on vacation.
Will you talk sense? What is your Sam Shovel case?
It's a very interesting case, Abbott. I call it the case of the gorgeous blonde model who fell into a vat of whiskey at the distillery, or there's good booze tonight.
Sounds terrible, but let's do it.
Yes, I'm Sam Shovel. Sam Shovel, private detective. As I open the door to my office, I suspect foul play. There's my secretary lying on the floor with a gag in her mouth.
Hi, Sam. Who was that lady I saw you with last night?
She got the gag out. Better she should have left it in. What has been going on here, Miss Blue?
Well, Mr. Shovel, 2 guys broke in here and stole your safe, your filing cabinets, and your petty cash box.
Anything else?
That's all I can think of.
Well, I'll sit down and get to work.
Oh, yes, they also took your chair.
Suddenly I heard a noise in my office. The door was creaking open. I whip out my gun. All right, whoever it is, I'm warning you. One false move and you're a dead duck.
Quack, 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 quack.
Well, looks like I'll have duck for dinner tonight. That's the trouble with this detective business. You never know who will drop into your office. Come in.
That's the Sam Shovel, private detective?
I'm Sam Shovel, private detective. Who might
My
you be?
name is Giuseppe Pasticci. I got a bigger trouble under my life, Sam. I need your help. You see, I work all day for the Sand Hog. You see, that's the people make the subway.
Mm-hmm.
I work hard all day. I come home at night. I told my wife at dinner she's got to be on the table at 6 o'clock.
$6 o'clock?
6 o'clock at the dinner, she's got to be on the table.
Interesting case.
Last night I come home, no dinner, no wine, and no wife. I walk in the next room. My wife is kissing another fellow. Sam, I was losing my temperature. I take a pistol and I kill him both.
What did you do that for?
Because in my house, the dinner's got to be on the table at 6 o'clock every night.
That's an interesting case. This detective business gets worse every day. Sometimes I wish I were more like my pal Lieutenant Abbott of the Homicide Squad. Lieutenant Abbott don't spend his money foolishly. Every time he makes money, he salts some of it away. He's been salting his money away for 10 years now. Of course, he's only got $9, but it's covered with 1,800 pounds of salt. Lieutenant Abbott is a good family man. He always brings home his pay envelope. Once he lost his job and his wife found a pink slip in his envelope. That didn't upset her, but when she looked further and found a pair of bloomers, she blew her top. Abbott is a pretty sporty dresser. He wears the kind of clothes you see around the tracks. The railroad track. The lieutenant is probably next door having a drink. Abbott ain't such a heavy drinker. He'll only take a drink before meals. Of course, he eats 37 times a day.
Hello, Sam.
It's my pal, Lieutenant Abbott. You look tired, Lieutenant. What's the trouble?
Oh, that's my wife, Sam. We've been
I
fighting
see.
for 2 weeks.
Dinner has to be on the table at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Oh, no, Sam. She don't appreciate me. She don't know how lucky she is. Why, when I married her, she didn't have a rag on her back. Now look at her.
You're right. Now she's got rags all over.
Sam, you're going to have to move your office. The city is going to use that lot across the street for a garbage dump.
Yes, I know. I got wind of it this morning. This neighborhood is getting tougher all the time. This morning I saw a guy in front of this building stepping on a cigar butt.
What's tough about that? Lots of men step on cigar butts.
While they're still in the man's mouth. Sam Shovel speaking.
Sam, this is Milt Bronson. You gotta help me. My wife suspects that I'm running around with that new cutie that moved into the neighborhood. Ain't that terrible?
It sure is. What does she think it is? The new manicurist at the barber shop?
No.
The new redhead cashier at the cafeteria?
No.
The new blonde widow that moved in across the street?
No. But thanks for giving me 3 good leads.
Instead of answering that phone, you should listen to the police radio. Maybe you can pick up a case.
Okay, I'll turn it on.
Calling car 98. Calling car 98. Car 98, report back to the station house. You left without a driver.
Shut that thing off. Shut it off, Sam. I nearly forgot to tell you. One of your old girlfriends is in town. You worked on her case last summer.
Who is it, Mabel?
No.
Was it Gladys?
No.
Helen?
No. Try Shirley.
Shirley?
Wrong again. It's Ingrid, the international spy. Sam, I want you to help me capture her.
Nothing doing, Lieutenant. Ingrid is dangerous. My brother Pat was out with her last night, and she cut off one of his ears.
Just a minute, Sam. I saw your brother Pat this morning. He's got 2 ears.
Yes. Now he has.
Sam, you're a cop.
Just get it, huh?
Yeah, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, March 31st, 1949 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A conclusion next.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Bud Abbott and Lou Costello from March 31st, 1949.
Sam, you're a coward. You're afraid of Ingrid.
No, I ain't, but I just ain't in shape. You know I got a cold.
But I told you to go home last night and soak your feet in hot water. Did you do it?
Yes.
Well, don't your feet feel better?
Yes, I feel all right, but my shoes are awful soggy.
Enough of this nonsense. Sam, Shovel, you're going to help me capture Ingrid, the international spy. Come on.
Lieutenant Abbott and I went to Ingrid's home. As we entered the living room, there she stood. She was more beautiful than ever in her usual soft, ladylike tone. Ingrid, the international spy, spoke.
Well, what do you 2 fat-headed flat feet want?
Ingrid, we're here to take you in. You're through being an international spy.
From now on, you can spy for Warner Brothers.
You mugs got nothing on me, and you'll never nail my gang either. They're too good at disguises. Why, one of my boys is working here in town right under your noses, disguised as a cocker spaniel.
That must be a pretty good disguise.
Good? The last time I saw him, Lassie was following him down Hollywood Boulevard.
Sam, you got to get on the right side of her. We need those secret papers. Now go ahead and play up to her.
Okay, watch this technique.
Go ahead.
Ingrid, you're beautiful. Come to my arms.
Ah, Sam. When you talk like that, I can't resist you.
Lean close to me. Sugar zero. Sugar zero.
Sam, what are you doing?
Sugar zero.
Sam, what are you doing?
I'm whispering sweet nothings in her ear.
Stop stalling, Sam. We've got to get those papers.
Okay. I'll give her one of my special kisses. Ingrid, I'm going to give you a kiss that you'll feel from the top of your head to the tip of your toes.
How do you do that, Sam?
While I'm kissing you, I stand on your feet and hit you on the head with a hammer.
And we're going to get those plans. You have to marry her to do it.
Okay, Sam, I'll marry you.
You will?
Yeah, but there's something I gotta tell you first, Sam.
What is it, Ingrid?
I've been married 4 times already.
Well, that ain't so much.
In the last month?
I've heard enough. Ingrid, you're under arrest.
Not so fast, copper. You came here for the stolen plans, didn't you? Okay, here they are. Take 'em, Sam.
Thanks, Ingrid. Lieutenant, look. These are the plans of the Los Angeles police have been looking for all year. The most important plans of all.
What are they?
The plans for starting a pyramid club.
Get them out of here! Okay. Well, Costello, we've just got time enough to tell the folks about our big boxing show for the Lou-Costello Junior Youth Foundation.
Folks, we're presenting a boxing match May 26th here in Los Angeles for the lightweight championship of the world with Ike Williams and Enrique Blanes. And if you're headed out this way, don't miss this title fight. You'll be getting the thrill of a lifetime and helping a very worthy cause.
Be sure to listen to the Abbott and Costello show next Thursday. Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Len Stern.
And our producer is Charles Vander.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night.
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
March 31st, 1949, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the Coca-Cola sponsored soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast March 31st, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you, transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Dum 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 da la 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 la.
Stay tuned to your local station.
Well, that's enough news for tonight.
Listen again.
I don't like hearing news. Nobody ever has anything nice to say.
Boom, doo 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 doo.
What time is it?
Doo 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 doo. Didn't you hear the announcer?
Oh, I just got in on the end, on the o'clock part. Did he say 8 or 9?
Listen in an hour from now and you'll find out.
Oh, come on, tell me now.
What'll you give me for it?
How's this?
Hmm?
Want another?
Save it for next time you ask me what time it is.
All right.
Right now it is 8 o'clock.
Is that all?
You sound disappointed.
I am. It's much too early to go to bed. Besides which, I'm not sleepy.
2 good reasons. Hand me that book, would you, darling?
Don't you ever get tired of architecture?
Give me another 50 years.
Oh, and your pipe. Don't you want your pipe? Or are you tired of that, too?
I'm not tired of anything. As a matter of fact, I feel remarkably spry, considering.
Considering what?
Just considering.
Now, let me see. What can I do for an hour? In an hour we can go to bed, can't we, David?
Still be very early.
I know.
Maybe we ought to go out tonight.
What for?
Go out? Don't you like to go out?
Yes, but I like staying home, too.
That's the time to go out. There'll be plenty of time, darling, when we're on the farm to spend evenings at home. There'll be nothing else to do but go to bed early.
That'll be nice. Except on the farm we'll have to get up earlier, too.
Early to bed and early to rise.
Makes a contented cow.
These cows are really on your mind, aren't they?
Thanks for the compliment.
Nope, my mind's made up. We shall go out tonight.
Where to, David?
Well, where does a person go when he goes out?
Well, this person doesn't go out much because this person is married to a person who doesn't go out much either. So this person doesn't know.
Well, most persons go to nightclubs when they go out.
Nightclubs?
You say that as if it's the first time you pronounced the word.
Nonsense. It's just that it's the first time you've said nightclubs seriously.
Well, I think we ought to go out to one. Maybe our last chance for a while.
You mean because of the baby coming?
I mean because of the great migration of the Nortons to Connecticut.
You make it sound as if we're going to travel in a covered wagon.
Oh, that reminds me. If we don't get a hold of a moving van pretty soon, we probably will.
You really want to?
What, travel in a covered wagon?
No, silly. Go to a nightclub.
Yes, I think I really do.
My jaw has just dropped.
Well, pick it up and tell me what you think of the idea.
I'm thinking.
My suggesting this tonight, darling, has two purposes.
I suspected as much.
I'm just using a little psychology.
Sure you want to tell me what it is? I mean, maybe psychology doesn't work as well when you know it's being done to you.
This psychology is just as much for me as it is for you. It's a known fact about human nature that when a person can't have something, that's when a person wants it most.
You know, we're certainly talking about an awful lot about persons tonight. David, are we that kind of a person?
You most certainly are.
I thought you said this psychology's for you, too.
Well, it affects me. I know just as sure as anything that the minute you get up in the country and tie that sunbonnet on your head, you'll have the most terrific yen to go to a nightclub.
Look, darling, just because you feel like you feel tonight, you don't have to blame it on psychology and me.
Oh, you think you're very smart, don't you?
Very smart.
Well, you are.
Just wait till Mama hears that.
I don't think I'd mind recapturing my youth for one evening. You didn't know that I was a very gay young blade in my day, did you?
You were? How about, were you a sharp blade, too?
Oh, two-edged.
Well, I've just met one edge of you so far, the edge that's to stay at home. I like it.
Oh, just wait. Wait until you have a slice at the other edge.
I like bacon with my edge.
Ooh. And Mrs. Norton, I'll have you know that I'm not accustomed to coaxing the young ladies to go out with me. When David Casanova Norton extends an invitation...
Claudia Cleopatra Norton accepts it.
My arm, madame.
My hand, my lord.
That settles it, Cleo. We're off to a nightclub.
Right, Cassie, but which one?
Aye, that's the rub. To go or not to go.
We have decided to go.
Aye, that's not the rub.
No, it isn't.
But to which? Zounds, to which? Whether it be the nightclub on East 54th Street, or whether it be Bristow on West 57th. 'Tis blood that is heavy on me mind. I like that,
which
me
is more
mind.
crowded? You ham without the let.
Now you prefer ham with your edge.
But seriously, David, listen. Aren't the bistros and the nightclubs and the pubs and the cafes just going to be jammed tonight?
Madame, they will be packed, stifling, crowded beyond belief. There will be room for you to set foot no place but on your most ardent suitor's ear.
Ear, it sounds exciting.
'Twill be.
I didn't know you liked dancing on a postage stamp.
I wrote a letter today to my congressman.
Oh, congratulations.
Darling, we'll have to make up our minds where we go before we start out now.
You are so right. And that is the gentleman's responsibility.
Alas.
Which nightclub is your favorite?
Apartment 12C.
Mine, too. But we're going out, remember?
Of course I remember. I'm going to look at this list of nightclubs in the newspaper just to refresh my memory, of course.
Of course.
Now, let me see. Let me
see, too. There's one that sounds nice, the Oasis.
I'm not thirsty. How about this one, the Zombie?
I don't think I feel like a zombie tonight.
You don't look like one either.
I don't. Thank you very much. Hey, David, here's a place that sounds wonderful. Look what it says.
What does it say? The Village Voodoo.
Ooh.
Featuring the exotic singer Dolores O'Brien.
I think the Dolores is the exotic part.
And the O'Brien is the singer.
Yes. Oh, David, why do I have to be born with a name like Claudia? Why couldn't I have been a Dolores or a Sonia or a Lucia?
Because you're just a Claudia.
Is that good?
Good enough for me.
Still, I wish there were a little of Dolores in me.
Well, what about it? You want to go to the Village Voodoo, Dolores?
I would you?
You're playing the wrong part, darling.
What do you mean?
You're not the comedian, you're the audience.
Oh, that's right. But I was just trying to get my money's worth.
How did you ever get to be such a bargain hunter?
I wonder. I
think
know.
you were born in a basement.
Well, you better ask Mama. I don't remember. You were alive then, don't you remember?
Come to remember, I do. That was the day the skies grew black at noon. The sun shone at midnight. The earth rocked and shivered, and the mountains howled.
Was the weather bad, too?
You are never satisfied. Now, come on. We got to decide where we're going. It's getting late.
How about this place?
The Harlequin, huh?
It's a nice name for a nightclub, don't you think?
Featuring Tommy Tombstone.
Tommy Tombstone? Who's he?
Don't. Oh, Claudia, don't tell me that you never heard of Tommy Tombstone.
Never.
Tommy Tombstone with the velvet larynx.
Oh, him. The singer who wears the polka dot tie.
That's he.
And the beret.
That is the one.
And who's so thin you can practically see through him.
You hit him on the nose. Say, when did you last see Tommy Tombstone?
Never.
Never?
Well, everybody knows all about him. Even me.
Aye.
You too?
Oh, no, Claudia, not that again.
Oh, you don't want to hear him again?
Again, I never have.
Well, then why'd you just say
I didn't say anything. Let's forget the whole thing.
Tommy Tombstone, too? He's all the rage, you know.
Of course, I know. You want to go hear him?
Well, no, I don't want to swoon.
The ladies love him.
This lady's busy loving someone else, thank you.
Do you think you could love a man who sings like this? My dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair.
I do love a man who sings like that.
Brown hair. Then we'd better not go to the Harlequin.
You're right. One man who sings like that is enough for any family.
I tell you what, I know just the place.
Where?
The Hacienda.
The Hacienda. That sounds as if you know how to rumba.
Well, who said I didn't know? When I was a child, my mother couldn't get me to stop doing the rumba.
Doing the rumba. Listen. There must be a better way of saying that. Is it rumbering?
Darling, the best way to say it is to do it. Now, come on. Leave us rumba into the bedroom and change into our evening clothes.
You mean we're going to get all dressed up?
Of course.
In white ties?
And a few other things.
I didn't know you still had to get dressed up to go to a nightclub.
Well, it helps.
Who?
Well, it might help us get a table.
Wouldn't it help more if we called up and made a reservation?
That's against my principles.
Oh, principles. I don't see what principles have to do with a table. You'll never get a table by just walking in and saying you want one.
Then we'll bring one along with us.
The square one that folds its legs up underneath itself like an Indian?
Yes, the squaw table. And if you get yourself very dressed up, looking stunning, really stunning, we'll make such an impression on the head waiter that he'll be sure to give us a table.
So that's it.
That's it.
David, do you suppose the head waiter gets all dressed up just so he makes an impression on us?
I can't think of a better reason.
This is getting exciting. I'm getting so I even like the idea of going out. And I don't care how crowded the place is, or whether we ever get a table, or if the head waiter snubs us. We're going to have a wonderful time.
Hey, you sound as if you were trying to convince yourself.
Do I? Well, I don't see why I should. I'm all convinced. I know just what I'm going to do. Now, let me see. What have I got to wear? Let me see.
Every time you open that closet, you act as if you were reading a menu.
Now, here's just the thing.
One crepe de chine on toast.
It's got a nice low back, lace on the front, and it reaches all the way down to the floor.
Sounds lovely. Have I seen you in it?
Oh, loads of times.
What color is it?
Pink, and it's satin.
Satin? I like satin. It's very dressy.
David, how does this look on me?
Darling, that is a nightgown.
Is it? Well, what do you know?
But it's very becoming.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll wear it.
Very good idea, darling. And here's what I'll wear.
The striped ones. I always liked you best in the striped ones. You think we'll make an impression on the head waiter in these?
We'll make an impression, all right.
I know. Oh, darling, your psychology was marvelous. I'm not going to feel like going to a nightclub for ages. And coming home so late, I'm so sleepy I could go right to bed.
I'm sleepy, too. I guess he was doing all that Roomba in a smoke-filled room.
I guess so. And wasn't it packed?
I couldn't even find that postage
Neither
stamp.
could I. David, thanks. I've had a wonderful evening. Dum, 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 dum.
Just suppose you had a job outside instead of at home. In all likelihood, there'd be a Coca-Cola cooler right where you worked. And you'd use it, too, as millions of working folks do. Well, the fact is, you work just as hard, chances are, even harder than people do in offices and factories. So why not give yourself the benefit of the pause that refreshes? See that there's always Coke on ice, so that you can open a bottle when you feel like it during your household working hours and work refreshed.
Say, sorry to disturb you, Joe, but are you and your wife great nightclubbers?
Well, I think we feel just about the same way about him as you and Claudia, David.
No matter how much we try, we just never seem to get there, do we?
Well, maybe you don't want to try hard enough.
Maybe. I guess the joke is on us. Say, that reminds me. Tomorrow's the 1st of April, isn't it?
That's right. April Fool's Day.
It gives me an idea. I'll have to think up something. What could I do to play a joke on Claudia, Joe?
Well, that is something to think about.
Do me a favor, Joe. Don't remind Claudia that tomorrow is the 1st of April,
I'll bet you she remembers all by herself.
As Claudia would say, I'll bet you 20 cents. Well, I better put on my thinking about it. Goodbye, Joe.
Goodbye, David. And as I was saying, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For ice-cold Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. Claudia has come to most of you now for the past 6 months. We'd welcome any suggestion or anything you may wish to say about the show. Write to Claudia, Post Office Box 173, Church Street Station, New York 8, New York. Now, let me repeat the address. Post Office Box number 173, Church Street Station, New York 8, New York.
Of course, I doubt that Church Street Station is there anymore, and if there's anybody to get your letter left, affiliated with Claudia, originally broadcast March 31st, 1948. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Would you do me a favor and thank this radio station and support their advertisers? It is their kindness and courtesy. We have some wonderful radio stations that allow us to be with you for a part of the day, and it is their kindness that allows us to be here. So let them know that you're listening. They would appreciate hearing from you. Send them a card or a letter, and please do business with the sponsors on this radio station. Also, if you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss a single show. You can find our shows always at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Audible on Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's why we mention that name a lot, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You can also hear the shows at my webpage, which is classicradio.stream. You can stream the shows. You can learn more about classic radio collecting, building your own collection. You can also find our social media pages, and you can contact me there, classicradio.stream. And please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.